name's Christian with Ace Appliance out of Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. So today we're working on a GE drop-in range here. It's a gas range. The customer's complaining that every burner works except the front right burner. So I've already diagnosed the problem. The problem is in the switches itself. You just can't get one switch. It comes as with all four of them. So we're going to be replacing the switches today. The tools you will need for this repair today is a drill if you have one, with a Phillips style #2 head and a 1/4 inch nut driver. Or if you don't have a drill, you can just use a #2 Phillips screwdriver with a just a 1/4 inch nut driver. So the first thing you gotta do, make sure that the stove top is clear from your utensils or whatever you might put on top of them for decoration. Then remove the burner grates here. There's 4 of them. Once those have been removed, you can go ahead and remove the whole burner, the cap and the burner assembly together. Just set them off to the side. And on each burner, there will be 2 #2 Phillips screws holding the top panel to the burner assemblies. So you want to go ahead and remove those. Be careful not to strip them. It looks like some of these are already a little bit stripped. So once you've removed the 8 #2 Phillips head screws from the top that are holding the panel down, there are 2 more screws, one on the left and right side. It is a 1/4 inch screw that holds the top panel down also. You want to go ahead and remove those. Once you've removed them, you can go ahead and lift the top up here. Now, be careful because the electrodes are still plugged in by their wires. So go ahead and carefully disconnect the wires from the electrodes because you do not want to break them. Once you do so, there are 2 clips in the back, little hinges. You can go ahead and tilt it forward and lift the whole top off. Next, we want to get this front panel off so we can replace the switches. To do so, it looks like there's a few screws in the bottom. There's 1 screw on the inside of each side. It's 1/4 inch. Go ahead and remove those screws first. And there is 2 #2 Phillips screws also that hold that panel in place. Maybe there's 5. It looks like there's 5. Yeah, there's 5 actually. Once you have removed all the screws, you can go ahead and tilt this forward carefully because the main control board is still attached. Just let it rest. You can let it rest on the oven door if you would like. That's what I'm going to do. So these switches right here, these 4 are going to be the switches that we're replacing. There is 2 connectors on the end on the left-hand side. There's a female and a male. Go ahead and disconnect them. Now the female, it has 1 female and it looks like maybe, they're both females for the switches. Once you've disconnected them, you can just go ahead and pull the switches right off. They just snap into place. That's why that one's being replaced. Now you can see that the new switches, they have upgraded the new switches. They look totally different. They're going to do the same function though. So go ahead and insert the switches all the way. Once the switches have been inserted all the way, you can go ahead and plug the connections in. So when you align the switches, when you install the switches, make sure they're aligned properly. You want the H look pointing down towards the bottom. If you do not, they will not ignite the electrodes, because it doesn't hit the switch in the precise location to where it lights the electrodes. So before we had them backwards, it wouldn't ignite. Now that we have them the right way, they are getting ignited. Once you've done so, you can go ahead and put the control panel back on. There's the 2 1/4" screws on each side that holds the panel up. Alright, go ahead and reinstall the 5 number 2 Phillips screws that hold it together on the bottom. Once you get the burner switches in place, you can go ahead and reinstall the top panel here. Remember, there are little hinges that they hook up into in the back. Before you install it all the way, don't forget to plug in the burner switches, or the electrodes. So once you have the top back on, you can go ahead and reinstall the 8 screws that hold the burners to the trip pans. Sometimes you will have to line them up. So once you have the top reinstalled with the 8 Phillips style screws, you can go ahead and reinsert the burner assemblies on top of the valves themselves. Make sure when you take them off, you left them in the same same place, because they will only fit in the exact same location they came off of. Once you've reinstalled the burners and the knobs, you can go ahead and test them once you have the power on. So today we have successfully replaced the burner switch assembly. All 4 burners are working again properly. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.